Hey guys, how are you this morning? This is Allison from Allison Answers and Lager Counseling Services. I'm about to go live on Facebook for my Women of Excellence Challenge. And it is a group that's designed for women. It is a missional group, and it's designed to help women all over the world, as many women as I possibly can, to help them to rewire the working of their brain. And the reason that I want to do this is that I've found over the 30 years of experience, plus personal experience, plus being a woman, I have found that women are in a lot of turmoil inside of their thinking. And what we're trying to do, or what I'm trying to do, is to create a movement where, with daily commitment to small, little incremental changes of awareness and little challenges that last for the 24 hours that people are in. By doing that, what's happening is we are bit by bit creating a change in the lives of people that can produce an exponential change. So what I'm about to do is I have you guys on record, and what I'm going to do, this is for my YouTube channel, but because I want to also put it on there. So I'm about to go live on here, so you'll see me switch over and start talking to my Women of Excellence group. And that's really that's just about it, chickaloots. So this is both for men and women on my YouTube channel, where we're being recorded, and now I'm moving over to Facebook Live. Have a beautiful day. Stay tuned. Hey. How's everybody doing out there? You guys hopping on? I'm gonna be just hanging out and waiting for you guys to hop on while I move the camera around a little bit. How's my people? How's my girls out there? How's everybody doing? I believe I'm live right now. I'm gonna try and make some little camera changes again so that we are doing good. Let's see who we have. I wanna welcome everybody. I'm gonna give time for you guys to hop on so we can begin to talk about the coolest stuff ever. So let's start with the idea that we are women who are about to change the face of the female, okay? Are you guys, let me see who's on here. Can I see? We have Gabrielle. Welcome, Gabrielle. And what we're doing is we are wasting time right now. That's what I'm about, because I want to get everybody who's able to see on here. So what we have going on here, ladies, is we are in a missional group, okay? And in a missional group, what ends up happening is we have a corporate mission to change the lives of the people who are in this mission and to spread the mission to other people in order to help to change their lives. So what I want you guys to know at this moment, please check this out. The number one goal that we have here is to actually make triumphant change and difference in everybody's life. I don't do things that don't have a good result, okay? So my goal is to actually not just create a feel-good movement where you come on, you see my video, you do a few things, and then you feel good then. I'm trying to help you guys to gain momentum, to create something in your life that has sustainable change that you can count on. So what we're doing, I want to tell the women I want to welcome everybody who's come on here, because there's so many unbelievable people who have come onto this group. And I want you guys to, I just want to see your names here, because it's so lovely when I can see you all. Let me do that. So basically, the whole idea is to look at the way that you're thinking, the way that you're feeling, the way that you're operating, and to understand what your core beliefs are. And within that context, to begin to really, 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 really see what's true. Nothing changes until it becomes what it is. It doesn't happen So in order to get better in our lives, we have to know what's actually there. So what we began doing throughout this process, oh, look at all you people there, hello. So hi, Lisa, hi, Barbara. What I want you guys to understand is that there is an actual truth and an ability to change the lives that we have. From my experience as a woman and working with women forever, and my observation has been that women are in a very, very difficult state of turmoil on so many levels. They're in a state of turmoil in their mind, and many, many women are plagued with worrying about what other people think. They may not even realize it. It's so infused into our culture that it has become just a natural way of being. We are so impacted by social norms that we do not realize that we are actually automated. And my goal, you know, on my podcast, everywhere I go, is it's about mission awake. It's about waking up to exactly, first of all, who we are, what we're doing, what are our primary thoughts, what are our primary feelings, what are the core beliefs that are driving those two things. And then once we see them, because awareness is the beginning of change, once we see those things, now we incrementally, every single day, that's why you guys keep showing up. You show up and we do a challenge. That challenge is being in charge of your life, thinking for yourself. Do you understand what that means? Most of us are not thinking for ourselves. I don't know if you realize that. We are literally brainwashed by what we believe inside of our bodies and the family that we grew up with, the community that we then advanced into, and all of what has been kind of expected of us. So I wanted, first of all, I was kind of wasting time a little bit on the first 5 minutes here because I want to be able to reach and wait for the people who are ready to come on. So now I'm going to start telling you more about just the idea and the mission. The bottom line mission is that we want to be able to, no matter what, do you guys understand that? We want to be able to make a difference and change our lives. I don't think it's worth anything to waste our times listening to me talk on a video or doing any of the self-help things or personal development things if they're not actually going to make a difference in our lives. So what I want to do is literally change the perspective of the female from, wow, this is what I have to do, to, wow, what do I want to create to do? Who do I want to be? Who am I meant to be? What am I here for? Because what we end up doing, we don't even know it. We are constantly worried and considering how someone else might perceive us. And I'm going to challenge you guys to this because I know that even the strongest woman is bound to that. Because you can just look at that with the fashion industry. I mean, the fashion industry, that's Diane from Ireland? Are you kidding? Are you in Ireland? Seriously? That is badass. Is that really what I'm reading? I did not know that. Diane, welcome. Thank you so much for being here from Ireland. I don't know, is that really where you're from? But anyhow, so here we go. So back to what I'm saying. Bottom line mission is that we can not only change the way we think and create a life that we're actually happy in, but we can also begin to create a movement that changes the way women in general think. And what I'm telling the people who are new here is this is not a feminist movement. This is not a movement to be in a struggle against society or against the opposite sex. It has nothing to do with that. That's not even what I'm about. It's about becoming the people that we're meant to be. So what I find is that women are struggling daily with worrying about what other people think, people pleasing. They're infused with guilt. They are doing things that they don't want to do. and then resenting it later, building up walls of resentment that impacts their mood. They are consistently feeling like they're not doing enough, they're not interacting the right way, they're not giving enough, or they've given too much, or wherever they are, they really should be over here because over here is where they're really needed. So everywhere they go, they're free. Patricia from Oklahoma. I'm sorry, I do have that squirrel thing where I'm like, oh, squirrel. And look at that. Good morning, my ladies. I love you all so much. I have so much to tell you. I'm so excited. So bottom line, I love seeing you people here. So anyhow, so freaking Oklahoma, Patricia. Anyhow, because I know Patricia and she just must have moved to Oklahoma. So I'm just happy to see her here. Okay, ladies, I promise I'm going to stay on track. Okay, sorry, not sorry. So basically what happens to women across the board is that there is a kind of a codependency that's been infused into our culture and into different faith-based places. And what has happened to codependency is codependency has become, has replaced compassion. So we're going to talk about all of those kinds of things. But the number one thing I see that women do is that women abandon themselves in order to not be abandoned. So the number one person in your life, the number one person that's going to back you up, you freaking abandon. Day in, day out, not you, me too. It is a thing. So we want to create something in ourselves that our person, our badass person that has our back, we have our best friends, whether we do have them or not. You want to make sure that you are so trained in your brain to be taking care of you, the number one person. Now, let me make this clear. First of all, my best friend is me, but I'm here giving to as many people as I can. So it's not about being selfish. We are so conditioned to believe that if I give to myself, I am selfish. If I say no to you, I've done something wrong and I feel bad. We have somehow believed that being true, being honest, being just caring for ourselves at the same time as loving others is somehow something that we should feel badly about. We have learned that disappointing other people is a bad thing. You know what? If somebody wants to be with me and I can't be with them and they feel disappointed, that's a natural human interaction that we don't have to feel badly about. It's really nice that they feel disappointed that I can't see them on Saturday because they care enough about me that they want to be with me, right? Yes? So backing up again, because I want to make sure the women who are new here, because I know that there's people who have spoken here and said, Allison, what do I do? Do I just jump in? Do I go back and read and listen to all the videos? It's like, couldn't be overwhelming. I just want to straighten that out. Bottom line, if you're new here, I'm going to tell you exactly how it works. Every single morning without fail, including Saturday and Sunday, there's going to be a video there for you at 5 a.m. You can watch that video anytime during the day. I suggest the morning because I believe the morning is the power time. I believe the way you start your day is the way that your day soars. So I'm asking you guys to watch a video that's under 5 minutes every single day. So that's the commitment. The next thing is I don't have my journal here, but here, take a freaking journal. See this? A little diddly diddly doots, a little journal. And I want you to write in that journal whatever the challenge is. I may ask you, okay, who's in charge of your day today? So now as you're going through the next 24 hours, I want you to notice how many times during that day you give up your charge of your day. And that might be the challenge for that day. So that day you're going to notice how many times someone else limits the direction that you want to be in on that day, or how many times that's interrupted, and you become aware of that. And then we do something where we shift, and I give you ideas and ways to really think. So what we're doing primarily, and in the beginning, is we're looking at How on earth am I thinking? Because I'm going to tell you something about thoughts. Thoughts are electrical impulses that are on a loop that don't ever stop. They are fueled by a few things, but thoughts and feelings interact. Feelings are chemicals, okay? Chemicals in our body that are released based on thought, and thoughts are released based on feelings, and they interact. Thoughts, feelings, feelings, thoughts, thoughts, feelings, feelings, thoughts. And the thing that drives those things is the neurological network that has been embedded in us since the day we're born. All of the information that has come to us through our five senses, all of that information from the time we're born, and probably before, but I don't know, whatever, I'm gonna go back to that. So I'm not gonna complicate it. So now, from the time we're born, as our brain is developing, the neurons that are in our brain when we are born start to create a ton of a ton of connections with all of one another. And what happens in that is that by the time you're 7 years old, you have a quadrillion connections between your neurons. And with that, those connections, they are an accumulation of data that came into your mind, into your brain, excuse me, not your mind, into your brain through your five senses. And our five senses are very, very limited, by the way. They do not move at the speed of light like other things do. So our actual five senses dull down the information that's coming to us to begin with. So we are very limited in the information that's coming. Now you take all of that information, every time information has to come, every time it comes to us, it doesn't matter what that information is. Our brain is set up that it must orient or give a definition to the information that's coming in. So a child who has one experience its brain has to orient it to that experience and define it. And once it's defined, and the definition could be women are bad, or women have to do what they're told. I'm making this up. It could be anything. It could be men are bad. It could be, oh, if I move my fork too quickly, that makes daddy mad. Now understand, that doesn't mean that daddy was mad because you moved your fork. What it means is that is the definition or the meaning that you attach to that moment in your life. You have an accumulation of a quadrillion, which is 1,000 trillion connections, synaptic connections between your neurons that create a belief system. Then the belief system that's created, and it could be a blanket thing like, oh, you know, women are, I'm trying to think of something, you know, oh, I'm not good enough. So now a thought, oh, I'm not good enough. Now what our brain does is our brain, because it is a machine, and as David Baer says, he says, it is a goal-driven machine. And what that machine does is when it hears a directive, which is the information that you just got, it hears a directive. What it does is it finds all of the information. It moves you in the direction towards that belief system. It generates thoughts, which generates feelings, which generate thoughts, which create a life that is based on these core beliefs that are running your life and ruining your life. Do you understand what I'm telling you? So when I try to get to the heart of people's core beliefs, I find all sorts of things. A primary thing I find with women is I am not good enough, or I will never measure up, or nice women are quiet. I don't know. I'm making these things up, but you got to find your core beliefs and understand. You want to understand what your core beliefs are because they're generating thoughts. I tell you guys this constantly, and I'm never going to stop telling you. Of the 65 to 70,000 thoughts that we're having a day, and who knows if that's even an accurate count because that count has changed. We have 91% of those thoughts are the same thoughts that we thought yesterday. So women and people at large in our world are on an automated system that's based in yesterday. And if we do not create new thoughts, we're just repeating over and over again old behaviors that we end up producing old results and results that we do not necessarily want. my goal here is to help women through incremental changes in your brain to create new thoughts, which is the way, by the way, to disrupt the system that's already there. The way that we do that is we create new thoughts through these challenges by pivoting away. We hear these thoughts rolling through our brain. Oh my God, you know what? They're probably mad at you. You really have to be nice to them. Whatever the thoughts are that you repeatedly think, you want to be aware of them because they're going to show up every stinking day, and I promise you that. Those thoughts, if they're not producing a good result, we have to stop. How come we're listening to thoughts that aren't producing anything good for us, and we're actually believing them? We're actually following that path because somehow we just do, because we're like robots. So this mission is about waking people up. That's why I'm there 5 a.m. because on my podcast, my mission, it's called Mission Awake. It's to wake up people. It's to wake us up so we can think for ourselves. We are creative beings. We have an amazing imagination. There's vibrance everywhere around us that we're ignoring because we're afraid. Because we're afraid to move away from our antiquated operating system, which is our body, and the beliefs that we have, and to create new beliefs. How come we're so willing to believe things? We're willing to believe things that make us feel like a piece of crap, which then produce results that we're very unhappy with. Financially, spiritually, emotionally, relationally, getting into the same kind of relationships over and over again. Have you ever asked yourself the question, the very important question, what is happening in my life right now that was happening 20 years ago that I didn't like? That was happening 5 years ago that I didn't like? How come I am in the same position? I got to do something, ladies, because I got to plug in my mouse because it's dead. Okay, and I can't see who's on my thing because people are commenting. So that's all. Now, back to what I'm saying. Basically, what we've been doing is throughout our lives, we have all of these results. So what I'm asking you guys to do on this mission is you're taking a peek at the way that you think, the way that you feel, the way that you relate. What is your addiction to, not yours, our addiction to not saying no, our addiction to worry. Remember that worry is all future-based. So the mission here is to begin to create new thoughts, which create, I'm going to tell you something, every time you think a thought, and this is fascinating, every single thought changes the landscape of our brain. That is unbelievable. We have been given like a supercomputer up here, and it is our servant. It is not supposed to be in control of us. So if you really were looking and seeing, okay, how come these thoughts, they're just boom, 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 generating. It's operating like a machine. See my doggy? It's my Roddy. This is Riley. So basically, it's going over and over and over again. If you looked at that like as just like, I don't know, like a computer, it was stuck on the same loop, wouldn't you be like, hey, wait a minute, I should probably do something about that. Maybe I should see like if there's something. I'm trying to get my mouse moving, girl, so I can see what's going on. Okay, I'm hearing all of you guys. Thank you so much for your comments. I am told, Doreen said, I'm fascinated by this stuff. I am too. This stuff blows my mind. I cannot take it. I feel like literally if I could have like a worldwide like foghorn or like I don't know, you know, those things that you speak into, I would be like, wake up, like freaking wake up. Because you know what? I feel like people are in a burning building and I'm like, come on, let's get out. Let's go make some beautiful life out here. And people are like, oh, I'm good. I'm just good right where I am. I like it here. I'm like, what the? So do you get me, ladies? So this is it. I'm not trying to get anything from this. I just want to make as much of an impact as I can on the earth while I'm here. So if to me, you know what, whatever, I'm basically, I'm a woman of faith, it doesn't mean that you have to be, it doesn't matter. Like I love us all the same. We're all the same because we're all human beings with this struggle. But in terms of my faith, I think about it, it's like, wait a minute, like we have given God-given ability to create things. And then we're just like those people. They're not people, they're pigs or something, or boars or whatever it is, that they kind of follow one another and they just like blindly follow one another, like off a cliff. Think about how many people, if you stood around at the bus stop or anywhere, at work, how many people are sitting around complaining about their husbands, complaining about their kids, working at a job they don't like, with people they don't want to be with, and really waiting their entire life to retire, and then they, I don't know, die. Come on, like we have so much more. Do you have any idea, women, what we could do if we changed this thinking that we have? So that's the mission here. So basically, and then I'm thinking women are busy and they're stressed. Women are struggling with this chronic stress syndrome, which we actually believe is normal. So it's normal at a supermarket to go, oh yeah, how you doing? Oh God, I'm busy, I'm stressed. Holy, yeah. I know it, life is crazy. I mean, this is normal. This is normal conversation. This should not be normal, okay? And let me tell you something, if it's normal, don't do it. Create, become the person that you were designed to be. We have say-so in that design. We have an ability. We have an ability to do things that create life and vibrance in us. Who decided that it's normal for a woman to just be status quo, apathetic, not happy? What is wrong? Wouldn't it be amazing if we saw an incredible, vibrant, powerful movement of women who are happy? They weren't fighting. They're not fighting men to get their rights. And I'm not like hating on anybody, because I really don't ever feel that way. But I feel like just in our own right to be a human being, to be alive, and to find the vibrance that can be inside of us and create whatever the hell, as long as it's good, as long as it's a good force based in love. And let me just, I want to identify something about love that I want to make super clear, okay? Love to me is not doing what anybody wants and bending over backwards to the point where you betray yourself in order to not be abandoned, okay? Pleasing others in order to not feel bad about yourself, in order to avoid guilt, in order to avoid all the crap that women are doing this daily. Do you know that there's a dialect for women? Women speak. Oh no, are you sure it's okay? Do you mind? I mean, do you really mean that? Because I could do it if you want. It's just really not, it doesn't really work well with my schedule. But like, but if you really need me to, I'll do it. Because if a woman doesn't do that woman speak that I just did, they're seen like, oh, what's wrong with her? How about when we say no, and I say this on my messages, right? I say this, I'm looking at these messages here, and the reason I want to comment on your messages is because I want to say something really important. All of you women who are on here, every single one of you, I swear to you, I see every comment, and I do everything. I hope I didn't miss anybody's comments, so I try to comment on everything, because every single one of you matters to me, and whether I know you or not. And I mean, I've listened to people, and I've had mentors who are just like, on the screen, and it really means a lot to me for you guys to know that. So I don't just think of you guys as just like a person who's just, I don't know, like letters. So I just want to comment on a few things. Francine said, I have practiced this and it is such a good reminder. You go deeper into it though. Thank you. Thank you, Francine, so much for saying that. And like Linda's talking about, she's just saying mission awake. And Diane saying, I feel constantly caught in this. Daisy said, how do you know me so well? I'm going to tell you, Daisy, how I know you so well, because we're all thinking the same, because we're all subjects. This is the big freaking thing. We are subject to this, and we're following it. And it seems right. There's a way that seems right to people, and on the end of that path is destruction. And to me, destruction is living an entire life without being and creating the way we were supposed to. When we were little girls, we knew something more than we know now. We knew that we could dance around in a supermarket, that we could just be free with who we are, that we could just be happy. We didn't have to apologize for giggling. We didn't have to apologize for crying. How many people on here apologize for laughing too hard and apologize for crying? How many people on here don't know that when you're asked a direct question, that the answer does not have to be yes? Do you understand that? It can be no, and no is a beautiful, it is one of my favorite answers. I love hearing no, and I've told you guys this, because no means that I can trust you. I can trust your yes when you say yes. Our yeses should be trustworthy. Do you know how much we're lying to other people? And is that right? We're in the name of being nice, we're lying. How could that be a good thing? No, then I don't even know if you are doing this and resenting me later. This is not okay for us. I want to make sure. Doreen, what do we got going? Lisa, so true. Thank you, Lisa. Kate Longwood, who happens to be Longford. I don't know why I said Longwood. It's because one of my dearest friends is a Longwood. Kate is my dear Kathy, and I love having you here. Thank you. So now I want to tell, and Barbara, hi Barbara. Thank you for your faithfulness. Okay, here we go. Back to what I'm talking about. I want to tell you my main reason for being here today. My main reason is I want to welcome the people who are new, because we have a lot of people in this group now who are new, and I want them to feel welcomed, and I want them to understand what this is about. So I had planned to do some other things with this group to make it just more vibrant and more interactive. And this is more of a pilot. I wasn't really sure how it was going to go, but I knew no matter what, this is my mission. I'm doing it wherever I go as much as I can do it. If I can do it here and it reaches everybody's heart. Hi, Allison. How are you? I'm Allison. Thanks for being here. We were talking ourselves back and forth. So now, listen to me, ladies. The number one thing, Allison, I have to ask you a question. Did you hear the mission? Because if you didn't, I swear I'm saying it again. I hope you guys don't get mad at me, but I want to make sure that anybody new knows this mission. Bottom line is, the mission is we're going to change the way that the female is bound to think by old, antiquated thoughts, feelings, core beliefs that were developed in us through our culture, through our society, through our childhood, the antiquated beliefs that have been subliminally infused in us, that have kept us in a place of mediocrity, not knowing that we could soar, that we could create things that are beyond belief, that we can do the impossible. Why is it that we think in terms of what we can't do? We think in terms of the things that we are not able to do. So Allison basically just said she heard the end of it. Allison, what I'm going to ask you to do, if you could go back and listen to the beginning of it, because it talks about, how we're wired and all this stuff that happens in our brain that causes us to be an automated system. By our operating system in our body is literally automated by our brain. And what we want to do here is we want to create a new neurological system that allows us to land in different places. If people look at the entire history of their lives, no matter what your age is, you will see patterns in that. And people will ask themselves, how did I land here again? How did I land here financially again, relationally, socially? And what they find out is I landed here again because I followed the same exact neurological map. we are creating a new neurological map through daily challenges that are going to, first of all, awaken you to what is already in your neurological system and what is running this show. And then once we're awake, because truth is the path to every ounce of freedom we get. Nothing, absolutely nothing changes until it becomes what it is. If we don't know what it is, we can't change it. If we don't know where we're going, we can't get there. So the point of this group is to see the truth and then to create a vision and an understanding, because without that vision, we will perish. When I say perish, I'm not talking about physically dying. I'm talking about the bigger tragedy of not physically dying, but by following things, people, places, and things that we're not meant to follow, and by not becoming the women that we're meant to be. So we are going to be a happy tribe of sisters. We're going to create joy and happiness in our lives by our own hands. And people are going to laugh at me because I say this so much, but there's a famous guy that I never know the name of, and somebody's giving me the name and I keep forgetting the damn name, but the guy was a man who wrote about future things that were going to come, and he wrote that a long time ago. I'm simplifying it very quickly, and what he did was he wrote about a whole big thing about future things to come. Everybody thought he was bat shiitake crazy, and what happened was this dude, everybody freaking saw when the time came, the future he was writing about, it was all true. And he wasn't writing from a place of like prophecy or anything like that, or like premonition. He was writing from his intellect and what he thought was going to happen. And everybody thought he was nuts, how our society would change. But what ended up happening, of course you can share this, Patricia. Yes, share. This is not to be kept. I'm trying to help as many women as possible. So you have any women that you can help with this, do it. That's why I'm doing this. For sure, share, whatever, do it. So back to that. So basically what this guy did, he wrote this whole thing about what's happening and what our lives are going to look like all these years later. And everybody's like, oh my God, this guy was right. And he was just doing it from the way he was thinking. So what he wrote about the 20th century, right? Wait, 21st century? Don't laugh at me, ladies, because I swear I don't even know what century we're in. But basically, that right now, he said, the illiterate of the 21st century, that's it. The illiterate of the 21st century, you hear me, chicks? The illiterate of the 21st century are not people who cannot read or write. They are the people who cannot learn, unlearn, and learn again. So listen to what I'm telling you. I'm telling you, we're going to look at what you learned, what we all learned. Okay? What all of us has learned is the thing that's running our entire life. All of our results, you look at any result in your life that you don't like, look at that. It's what you learned. Now, unlearned. That's what we're doing. We are unlearning that. We're taking a look at everything you learned, all your thoughts, all your beliefs, all your feelings. The feelings are rehearsed enough, we become chemically addicted to. So now, all that you've learned, check this shit out. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I try really hard not to curse. Can't help it, I get wrapped up. Okay, so all that we've learned, right? We're gonna unlearn it. What do you think of that? That means we're not gonna follow it, okay? I'm not listening to you anymore. I'm actually going to ask myself the question as a bright, wise woman who's meant to think for herself. I'm going to look at those thoughts, those feelings, and those beliefs. I'm going to ask myself the question, hey, is that actually true? Do I actually want to follow that? I mean, how many times have you asked yourself that question? Do you actually ask it? Oh, do I actually believe that and want to follow that? No, that's just what everybody says. So I'm just going to do that. I don't know what the hell is that? It's crazy. So you learned. We're going to unlearn. Now we're learning again. Every day. 5 minutes. 5 freaking minutes a day. Don't tell me you can't take that. And then you're going to spend the rest of that day, 24 hours, just aware. As a wise person who's aware of their life, and pivoting from the things they want to unlearn, and they're going to create something new that they believe is better. It's a better system. And the way it works neurologically is we have this embedded system. I don't know, you kind of look like it's a gazillion, you know, it's quadrillion or more than that, obviously now, like insurmountable amount of wiring that's crossing over, that is creating our thoughts, our feelings, generated by these beliefs that are infused in there. And what happens is when we start creating new wiring, every time you think, you change the landscape of your brain. Every thought, everywhere a thought goes, molecules flow. So remember that. What you're thinking is creating. Thinking is creating in your brain. It's making wiring, right? It's making synaptic connections. So when you do that, every time you choose again, here we go. We have that's my dog. That's my badass Riley. Riley, you can't do that. I'm live. Come back. So anyhow, what that does is it goes like this. So now you start creating these thoughts. You know what it does to this other system that you learned? Now you're unlearning, learning again, creating your new system, makes that one obsolete. Times of high stress, though, I want to just throw this out to you. Times of high stress will make you go to your default system. So you want to be aware of it. You want to be aware of thoughts. So today, ladies, I'm going to ask you to be very, very aware of your thoughts. Be aware of the thoughts that repeat. You're going to be shocked how many times, every time you do a certain thing, you know, let's say you drop something, same thought's going to come, a series of thoughts. You're going to be amazed. And you are a victim of following thoughts that they're just electrical impulses. They have no value if they're creating something that doesn't have value. Does that make sense? You will know if they're valuable by what they create. Look at your life. What don't you like? I love you, Barbara! Barbara, if you were in front of me, I would kiss your face. Barbara just told me the man, I'm writing it right down, the man who said that. Those who learn, unlearn and learn again. Okay, the ones who are illiterate, the person who did it is Alvin. Write it down, ladies. Alvin Toffler. That's the name of the man. I will never freaking forget this again because I have forgotten this so many times. See, it's backwards. I will never forget Alvin again. I swear. Back to what I'm saying. So back to the thing. So this thing, I want you guys to know the mission. I want to welcome the new people. I'm really grateful for every single person who's here because it means a lot to me. I know what it's like actually to give 5 minutes of my time. It really is a thing. So I value that you listen. I value that you also care about yourself enough and the mission enough to actually make a difference on this earth. Because every single person, Nostradamus is not the man I mean. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. It is Alvin Toffler. Okay, so listen. This is what I want you guys to see, that the people who are on here are committed, that you're writing in the comments every day. That's one of the things I ask that people do is that you listen to the video, you do the challenge, and then you come back the next day and you write, you know, what your experience was so that everybody can hear and the energy can flow and get greater so that we can encourage one another to continue the movement. So when you go to work, you go home, you're with your daughters, you're with whoever, any friends, you can continue the movement instead of participating in what's hurting women by being overly apologetic and being very, very, and lying to one another in order to please one another so that we won't leave one another. We want to create a mission that we value the direct interaction of honesty and love that's real. So I want to encourage you guys to share this, and I want to thank you so much for being here. It means a great deal to me. The next thing I want to say to you guys is that when you can write in those comments, but you also have your journals to write in or just on pieces of paper. You don't have to share super personal things here if you don't want. I don't want you to feel that. But even if you just check in and say, I relate, you know, we can hear that you're there and it creates like a momentum. So I would just love to hear from you guys. And also if you have questions, I want to know those questions. If it takes me a day or two to get the answer to you, I will still get it. So I just, please do that. The other thing is I'm planning a couple of things. I'm going to start to do, and I don't know the timing or how I'm going to do it. I'll probably do a pilot, like a Zoom event Oh, yes, Diane, you can share this with someone not on Facebook. It is absolutely no problem. I actually would like to do this on other platforms. And absolutely, what I was about to say is I'm going to start doing Zoom calls with you guys. And I'm going to do like a pilot to just see like the logistics and how it could work out, because I want to make sure it does well. So I believe that I can have a lot of people on. I want it to be effective so we can communicate. So what the Zoom call will look like, and I will morph it to make it better and better, but what it will look like is I'm going to come on, I'm going to talk about a topic for a period of time, maybe 15 minutes. And then I'm going to have like Q&A, where then we can just talk back and forth. One person will have to talk at a time. And I'm going to do that. I'll probably do it for anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes. I'm going to do one to check it out and see what it will be like. And then I'm going to start to do them more regularly. And, you know, as I see the logistics of how it works, then I will make it better and better. If it's too many people on the Zoom and I feel like it would be more productive to split it up, I'll do that. But I don't know yet, but I am going to do that. And I'm going to do that. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be sending out to you guys kind of like a thing that because I want to get a sense of the best time to do it during the day. So that the more people can come. So I'm going to be sending out like I'm probably going to even be doing it today or within the next couple of days, like a question or a thing. I don't really know how to do that, but the women who work for me do, like to make like a voting thing where you can decide what time you want to do it. So I'm gonna throw that out to you guys. I really hope you guys will answer, and I would love for you to come. I just want to comment on, and I want to read. Nancy just wrote, "Great message. I've been on this journey for a while. Your boldness is refreshing and empowering, and your knowledge is so helpful and understand." Listen, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I'm just reading this, and I really appreciate this. Is so nice. Helpful in understanding why I have not overcome my mind's doubts about myself. Yes, I love that, Nancy. That's true. This is what happens. I myself, I agree with you, Nancy, about this. Being on this journey forever. Like, let me tell you something. I don't know. I've been in all sorts. If there's a recovery thing going on, I got that. I qualify. So basically I've been doing this forever myself personally. So the whole journey, plus being a therapist for all these forever years and working with all these different people and whatever, basically the bottom line is, this is, to me, the magic piece. Not magic, but this is like the unbelievable, majestic piece. It is like a thing like that we just don't realize, that the reason we keep returning and returning and returning to the same thing is because we keep following the same map. And I tell people, oh my God, I'm trying to get to California, keep following the map to Chicago. How the hell did I land here again? Oh my God, because we have to change the map. So this is like great news. You guys who have been doing this forever, you have the foundation, we have the fortitude, for God's sakes. We've been trying so long, but really what it requires is you gotta do it. You gotta just do it every day. Be aware, be awake. The truth is always good enough. It's always available. Truth is so cool. So one of the things that we do to one another as women is we burn one another when we tell the truth, which is so ridiculous. Okay, so I find that women in general are, we operate from a competitive mode, meaning that the only reason, and it's not, I don't think it comes from like a bad place or an ill heart. I think it comes from our society is set up that I can, competition. I don't even know if, I think it's maybe men as well, probably, is that competition means that I can only be better than you or less than you. Those are my only two options. So when I'm with you, I'm either less than you or I'm better than you. So now, how untrue is that? And you know what, if you really thought about it, a lot of people really don't know that they believe that. But if you really looked in your heart and you looked at how insecure you might feel around certain people, it's because there's this somehow belief that you're less than them, right? And how crazy is that? How can we be better than or less than? It's like being one of your kids being better than the other one or less than. It's the same thing. There's no better than or less than. We're just all crazily different, and we're all trying so hard to be the same so we don't stand out, and because we don't want to be made fun of or judged. And judgment is all based on fear, because I feel threatened by you. That's why I'm judging you, because then I guess I think you're better than me. I don't know, or I want to be better than you. But we need to stop. So I'm going off, ladies. I'm going on a trail. When I'm on Zoom, you can like poke me and say, Allison, come back. Join us. You've left. Okay. So now I want to tell you the other thing. So we're going to do a Zoom, and it's going to be soon. It's going to be like within a week or two. I just got to find the right day. I have a super busy schedule, but I'm super committed to this. I'm committed to this because this has a power to move mountains. You imagine having a happy tribe of women who literally happy, not pretending to be happy. Like literally, I'm happy with me. I'm happy when I'm with you, and happy when I'm without you. I'm happy when I'm doing things for you, and I'm happy when I don't do something for you. And you know what? I choose happiness today. And I'm not talking about fake happiness, because I don't even believe in that. I don't believe in repressing feelings or any of that, but we have to be in charge of our feelings instead of our feelings in charge of us. Do you know that we get to choose how we feel every single day when we wake up? When I wake up in the morning, I consciously choose, hey, I get to choose how I feel today. And I choose exuberance, happiness, joy. And you know what happens? I feel that because I'm telling my body what to do. Our bodies are designed to do whatever the hell they're told. And you know what we do? We follow our body, and we do whatever our body tells us. It's actually funny when I think about it. So we got to change this. Okay, so let's go back. I mean, this is just every one of us. It's not just females, it's men too. So I'd love to reach out to the men, but I got to figure out how to do that. But anyhow, so now, then we are planning something so cool. I can't wait. We're planning an event, big event, but because of COVID, I don't know how we're going to do it. So we might have to make the event small, and then eventually, I don't know, either do more than one event or do it or limit it to who can come. But I think we might even have to do that. I don't know how we're going to do it. Hopefully we're able to have more people, but I think we're only allowed to do an event with 50 people, which is like super small. So there would be a lot more people who would want to come. So I don't know how we would do that, but let me tell you, no matter what, I'm doing it. So we're planning on doing it around April, May. And what we're going to do is it's kind of going to be a thing for women, and it's going to be this. But it's going to be like in a beautiful place. It's going to be like in a hotel, and we're going to have yoga sessions, and I'm going to speak. And, you know, I might have other people speak as well. It depends, but I'm going to probably be the primary speaker at first until I find somebody who can come out here and talk to. I have some ideas of people who could talk to. So whatchamacallit? So this is what we're going to do. April, May, and we're going to get together. It's going to be a weekend. So it's going to be a weekend of not just revving ourselves up so that we can just feel, you know, slowly dissipate. No, we're going to keep the momentum going all this time. Then what we're going to do is we're going to, as we keep this momentum going, we're going to culminate in it in this live event where we all meet one another, we share, we're going to really make some massive changes, and then we're going to continue to do it. And then we're going to meet again. So, and throughout we're going to do Zoom calls. So does anybody have questions on here? Where are you guys at? I love that she does that. Okay. Does anybody have questions on here? Do I still have you ladies with me? Let's see what's happening out here. If nobody has questions, I'm probably going to head out. But if you have questions, I will stay until they're answered. Hey, let me tell you guys something. If you feel like it, you can get on my podcast. I couldn't think of the name. Allison Answers. If you want to do that, I'm on any platform that you want to be on. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anything, Buzzsprout. I'm on all of them. So if you want to do that, YouTube, if you want to actually see the podcast, you can go on YouTube. That's another thing. Oh, I'm so glad I'm telling you guys this. Are you guys still there? Because I don't want to keep talking if my audience is gone. Oh, I do see you guys still there. So basically, this is what I want to say. There's another thing I'm doing. I'm creating a YouTube thing. I'm creating a YouTube thing, basically that you can listen to driving to work, where I'm putting all those challenges on there. So, and it'll have a topic on there. So there are these 5-minute challenges, and they're all going to be on my YouTube channel, which is Allison Answers. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that you can do this in other forums, you know. And then some of my podcasts are on there too. I've been adding my podcasts onto YouTube, and actually this right here I'm recording, and it's going to go onto YouTube as well if anybody wants to go back and listen to it. But you can also listen to it here. So if you want anybody to listen to it that's not on here, you can have them go on the YouTube and just click on this, and it'll be labeled. All right, so guys, any questions that you have for me before I leave? I'm gonna give you a moment, and if you don't, I'm gonna go. All right, ladies, I think you guys are incredible, and I want to thank you for being here. Oh, somebody else. Oh, look at you, Allison. What can we do for you? Allison, you are just badass. That is such a nice thing to say. But you know what you could do for me? You could share this with other women. I don't care if you share it with men too. You know what I mean? To me, sharing it to help other people to be able to be free from this kind of automated thing that we have going on. I think this is really important, especially in these really hard times. I think that what we put out there is so important, that if we're just joining in the culture at large with kind of a mediocre way of being, that we are doing a disservice to society. Because guess who society is? I am society. You are society. The contribution most that we can make is that we can be a society that leads in joy and becoming the greatness that we have inside of us that actually is meant to be there. So to answer your question, Allison, what you could do is you could definitely, I would really, really appreciate if you guys could like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and to my podcast. It would really actually help me a lot, because it gives me an opportunity, when I have a lot of subscribers, it gives me an opportunity to do different analytics within the platform, which I'm not really understanding exactly, but it gives me more opportunity to like change my URL or to make it more custom within the program. So if you guys, or you could even ask people, that would mean so much to me if you could have people listen to my podcast and my YouTube channel or my Instagram. That would really be so helpful for me, because then I can reach more people, and that would really be way cool. I would really appreciate it. So my Instagram, you can hear a lot of different things I have on there, is Allison Answers and Logger Counseling Services. Those are both of my Instagrams. All right, guys, I hope you have the most beautiful day. And I want to thank you so much for being here. And look out for my Zoom questionnaire, okay? Have a great day, ladies. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bye.